On today's Minute of the Apes, hey Richard, do you have a tease?
There is fire, there is smoke.
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies 1 minute at a time. I'm Todd, and my dear friend across from me, who I put on the spot because, you know, he is the gold standard for teasing this podcast, literally sort of teased me in his own way because I think I always defer to him. Do you have a tease? And it is cookie time. Is that a protein type or fiber or something?
Yeah,
type cookie?
it's protein cookie.
So he eats these, and I look at him, and I made him recreate it because he even teased me. I said, "Do you have a tease?" He went,
I'm just thinking protein cookie, a cookie with like a chicken stuffed into it.
It could be that too. That could be it too.
I think they actually make. Have you had those chips that are made of like chicken?
No.
I've heard about the pizza crusts that are made of chicken skin that are like really. And with Shelly being diabetic, we need to cut carbs out. I've thought about trying. Have you tried that?
I have not. No.
I don't know if I've ever seen it anywhere. I know I've read about it that they're doing it and you can buy that. I don't know if I've ever seen them.
You know what? I just read a piece though last week about milk now being completely.
Well, you told me about that, yeah.
Milk being what?
Man-made milk.
Man-made milk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they can grow it now. They don't need cows.
Well,
I mean, it's still cow. It's a cow protein, but it's grown.
I did hear the thing that the battle over that you can't call something like almond milk is done.
Now they can
It's like
milk.
as long as you tell it where it was created from. Milk is not just something that is.
It's got to come from a nipple.
That's kind of weird. I mean, milk is a beverage. I wouldn't imagine you'd have to be so specific about this definition.
Well, what it was the actual dairy milk industry being threatened that it's taking away part of their market.
What are they, France?
I'm sorry. That's you can't do that. It's and what the
Words
fuck is
have
it?
meanings.
If it says, I've never understood that you walk into the store and I'm like almond milk. I am not confused. I understand. I might. Abby has.
I'm not milking an
You're not
almond.
looking for the nipple.
Right.
I know this is not a thing.
Abby has lactose problems. She's not completely intolerant, but it bothers her and she can't have it. I need to know this is a substitute for that. What the fuck? We are so desperate for things to talk about with these minutes. We're talking to milk. Sean, tell us what's going on this Thursday with Minute 94.
They make shelf-stable milk where it's just like you don't have to refrigerate it. You can
No,
leave
I
it
did
sitting
not.
in. Yeah.
I know they make condensed milk. That still just when you
But
look
if
at that shit,
but
it's
it
like
tastes so good. Yeah, I know.
It
looks
tastes
like,
great, but you look at it like, ugh.
It looks
I'm
like
not eating.
melted marshmallows or something.
It looks like what these apes should have looked like after they got
Yeah,
blown
there
up.
you go.
So tell us, Minute 94, what's going
All
on?
right, we start minute 94 with a final assault and ends with Krull going all, "While you were picking up chicks, I was studying the blade."
Really? I like that. That's cute. All right, Minute 94. Here come the charge of monkeys. Planet of the Apes.
As been 94, we have an Oberon's worth of apes and humans, 2 displaced pods worth of humans and apes, so many wild humans in Ape City, minus 2 gorillas, humans on the loose, and the final assault appears to begin.
All right. Visually, and I'm going to state this right away, we actually adhere to the lines that we've drawn for screen directions pretty well. So we get a lot of shots of Thade leading his charging army atop horses, then to the other gorillas that are running on foot. Flat, neutral shots of Marky Mark looking at the incoming force. Neutral shots of chimpanzees running on all fours. As we cut left to right, they run past horses. So you want to talk about speed. You said chimps could run at 25 miles an hour. A horse can run
past that
55
horse,
miles an hour.
Yeah, and that chimp just blazes past him. We get neutral shots of Ari once again looking out, the force coming. Thade gets atop his horse, neutral shot. Then he springs into action over people, throws anyone that quickly jumps atop him. I mean, he's come in as a force. You want to talk about the physics that don't work. He falls, and suddenly there are people on top of him. That just doesn't work out. As he picks up, and neither of you will know who this is, but there's an artist I love, a guitarist and singer named Glenn Hansard. I do believe that Glenn Hansard has a cameo moment when he gets his neck cracked right that looks exactly like him. We then get neutral shots of everybody coming. I guess that's Atar jumping off his horse. You really can't see his face. Yeah, that is. When he pops a dude in the face, that dude goes flying.
How is that even possible?
Well, hang on,
Without even.
We'll get back to it.
All right.
So we then have monkeys that have somehow got atop of the Oberon. They've been coming in, and they get up there and they jump down. We finally get Limbo back in. He is cowering away, and he decides to do the foolhardy thing of entering the battle when he's a monkey. And if you're battling monkeys, you might get your ass killed. I would think I would run away. We get African-American gentleman gets his back broken.
Gunner.
You hear the and he falls down. Limbo's looking, I guess, for a weapon as our child, who still looks like a child, runs in and is suddenly a skilled fighter that can battle trained gorillas from an army.
Right. Suddenly he's good, but Gunner's not.
And we get, I'm sorry, what is our silverback's name again?
Krull.
Krull, thank you. Krull comes in and shows that, yes, he truly is a warrior.
He studied the blade.
And he's got a blade, and he is mowing through these people in the most uninteresting of shots to do it. So, great. We've reestablished screen direction, and we're being pretty true to it. To me, and you guys can correct me, the first thing that I think we discuss, besides chimps running past horses, besides Ari just looking passively on, this moment when Thade jumps from his horse.
Well, hang on. Before we get to that, 4 seconds in, I was thinking about it. Marky Mark's been on this planet for close to a week maybe now.
Okay.
He's not sweating. He doesn't need to shave. Look how perfect he is.
He is
perfect.
very
man.
pretty.
It's the future. He's genetically had his facial hair removed.
Is that what it is?
He's
I don't know, I'm just
debilitated.
guessing.
All right. Anyway, sorry.
So Thade is. Explain this
Why
logic
aren't
to me.
they all flying around like this? First of all,
Well, explain this logic to me. I realize that he is a great warrior. He's strong, but you're atop a horse, and anytime that is a massive animal.
Right.
You could
The
run
first thing
people down
I'm
with
running
it.
people down to try and at least knock down 10 people with
Yeah.
that fucking horse, and I'm kicking off
trying
the
to pull
side.
the Braveheart where you have the horses run people down.
Yes, and instead he
just
jumps off
abandons
his
as
horse. He
fast as
takes
he
all
can.
of his. He had the high ground on that fucking horse,
Ah.
and I'm sorry.
Well, he has the
Obi-Wan
high-
tells me if you have the high ground, you win.
But he,
He
has
was on-
the
he was on-
higher
he was on the
ground,
high
yeah.
horse.
Yeah.
Oh, it is the high horse.
He's on the high horse.
So he jumps, goes flying, lands atop someone, and in the next shot, there are people on
Three
his
people
back.
on his back. Yeah.
How is this physically possible? If we talk about physics, you jump, you would knock somebody
Away from you.
and it would even if they're there, it would everybody have to recuperate from you coming in.
Yeah.
He's at least probably close to 180 pounds.
Yeah. Also, we have all the chimps running on all fours, but why did the gorillas run on twos? Why are they not
They're too
loping
stupid.
down on all fours, is running as fast?
Are gorillas as fast as a chimpanzee when they run? Richard, do you know this?
I did not look that.
Come on,
one
Richard. Come on,
stat
come on,
up.
come
I'm
on,
sorry,
come
I
on.
did not look that set up.
See, a gorilla's running speed is 50, up to 55 or 34 kilometers an hour, or 34 miles an hour. Sorry.
So
And-
they're a little faster than a chimpanzee. They should be on all fours too, and that would be so interesting.
25 miles for a chimpanzee, so a gorilla can run faster.
And that would be so fucking interesting to
Yeah.
see all these things running in their natural way. They don't need
The
horses.
lumber and-
I don't even want to see the horses, really, if it gets down to it. I think it'd be so much more interesting
I
if
think
they
the
were
only
using
reason
their
they had
brutal
the
force.
horses is have those two stand out from everybody.
Maybe
they're
so.
like the only two that we really see on horses.
I'm just the reconnecting with all the characters, Ari peering around, Civil behind her,
Limbo rolling down.
Rumble rolling down. I just don't care about these people at all. And they're not being checked in a way that makes any sense to me. Like I wouldn't mind seeing them all. We've watched like a Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones when your characters there and
Exactly.
they're fine. I feel no tension, no excitement, no concern, no
Let's go back to
care.
Helm's Deep and Two Towers. You understand each of those characters and what they need. You also understand their relationship to each other. So because I'm not the biggest fan in the world, I don't remember all the characters. I know Legolas. What's the dwarf's name? Gimli.
Mm-hmm. Gimli.
When Legolas comes in that very, it couldn't happen, puts the shield and slides down the steps and starts, throwing arrows, basically to help his friend. It fucking makes sense. And the reason you feel heroic is because you know the relationship between them. There's nothing here.
We're going to lose a character. Gunner's going to get his back broken. We're assuming that he's dying. I'm not, without going into the future, we're just going to be dies here. Shouldn't he be saving somebody so that we have the impact of that
sacrifice,
death?
yeah.
Shouldn't he be saving the kid?
And instead, what I feel is
Or
relief
saving
that he
Limbo
dies.
or
Or
something.
saving Limbo.
Yeah, save
That would be
Limbo.
interesting.
Yeah.
And giving Limbo a motivation to do something more. It's just like if he saves the kid, then we know why the kid goes on a rage. Like all of a sudden he's like,
But if he saves Limbo, this is the guy that he was going to chain up before, and he's like, "Why are you going
That's
to put
an
those
interesting
back
idea.
on me?" Well,
I don't care. He just died, and I'm like, bye.
I feel
why is this-
relieved because it's one less person for me to get confused and even
worry-
be concerned about. Let's go to Limbo real quick. What is Limbo's idea
What is
here?
is he going to fight with the humans? Is he going to say, "Oh, I've got a weapon now. I'm actually fighting with the apes and fight"?
And also,
these?
if I am going out and I am easily discernible from a human being a monkey,
Mm-hmm.
why would I charge into what the humans are attacking? Because in that melee, you're going to get confused. And why wouldn't they go beat up Limbo? And they also hate Limbo.
yeah.
Right. There's no reason they wouldn't be attacking him or Ari as well.
Maybe if
other
they
than
had
the fact
like
he's hiding.
if you saw Limbo had changed clothes and he was more dressed like the human, so he stood out. In
Maybe.
some
Well,
way,
and
but-
Limbo picks up the knife right after Gunner dies, but we don't see that as a reaction to Gunner dying.
Right.
We see him roll down a hill, we see Gunner die, and then we see him pick up a knife.
It would be interesting in what you guys had said if somehow Limbo and Gunner had learned to care about each other or learned something. Either that or don't even put Limbo in the battle. Let him run away from the battle. There's that guy in the Hobbit films that's the kind of asshole within the little town by the dragon that's always kind of manipulating things and even dresses up as a woman to go hide with the
Yeah.
men and women. Let Limbo be that. If you wanted to be that character,
Right.
let him be that. But you're not letting him be who you've tried to make him to be.
So at 27 seconds when Atar comes riding in, did you think that the human that was running up was actually running up to grab his horse, like to pull it off camera and try to
I can
take
see
care
why
of
you
it?
think
He's
that.
like, I was just trying to take your horse for you, sir. But if the way Atar sends that guy flying, the humans should not be able to stand a chance whenever this fresh wave of apes
Yeah.
are coming in. They should crush them.
Well, one of my problems with Atar coming in is that in that shot at roughly 28 seconds when we know that's him.
Yeah.
It is completely backlit by the sun. There's dust in the air, and I have to make an assumption that that's him. His armor is not so distinctive that it stands out completely against the other people. His helmet does not say something different. He's got these spikes on his arms. Were they to make at least a visual idea that they were even
Maybe like
bigger?
have horns on his
Something
helmet.
so I knew that's him. This is where this movie gets into problems with me again and again. I'm like, oh, who is that? Oh, what? I don't see it. Kick some light on. I don't care because I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I think I know. Well, speaking of Atar and then also Krull, we know they had a adversarial somewhat relationship because of the way they looked at each other across the water.
Right.
Atar's motivation and Krull's motivation sure to be dialed in at this particular point of the two of them seeing each other somehow again from across the battlefield. But the idea that they're coming to meet. This is what should be happening here at this moment, where you see that kind of Krull is coming in, Atar's coming in. You know this conflict is about to happen, but it's not. I think I know what bothers me about some of the shots of this. Is the fact that we are connecting with our characters, but none of the shots are tight enough on the characters, so I feel like they're immersed in the action. They're wide enough that I see the character doing something, and then all the people around them doing their own dancing and choreography, as opposed to them being a part of the action. They're kind of their own little like moment with nothing around them.
That's the movie trope. I mean, it always happens. Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man has time to hug Tony Stark and say, "Hey, remember whenever we did this Spirely thing and then I got all dusty and then I came back?" And I mean, they have this whole 5-minute conversation in the middle of a battlefield, or Gamora.
But to that point, if we had some of that, if we actually had any of that, what does that do? It allows you a minute to connect and.
I'd forgive the conversation, but when we see Krull come in and start slicing people, we've got like 10 extras around him, but they're doing their own thing so far away that it just doesn't feel like he's a part of the fight. It feels like he's his own little
I like your thing
walking over picking people off.
Of this the impending battle between Krull and Atar. That's the drama. They should, if they could see each other across that body war, they should see each other and begin fighting to each other.
You hear Krull, you hear Atar screaming for Krull.
Yeah, anything that says, and that's like, I want
back.
you, and bring that battle together. But right now, they're simply separate forces that don't even acknowledge nor know what's happening within that battle.
Seeing how Thade can throw 3 humans off him, and seeing how Atar can send a human flying across the battlefield when he smacks him. How is this kid fighting anybody? How is he able to not get his neck broken like the first hit from somebody else?
Were you to establish that he was some really acrobatic little kid that could run around?
He was a street rat.
And he could run up and stab people in the back. That would work. But for him to and
he can't even ride a horse.
No shit.
Now he's a master warrior.
His superpower, and they just haven't figured out how to use it, is that he goes through puberty and back to adolescence within one movie.
His superpower is plot armor.
Maybe.
There you go.
It's another minute that's just kind of
messy.
Has anybody got anything else?
No.
Okay, good.
Get to Friday.
I call this one done. Let's get to Friday. For Richard and Sean, I'm Todd. Everyone have a great day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.